Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, on this special bonus edition are my co-hosts, Lisa.
Down in Castle Rock.
And Nate.
It's bitch, not son of a bitch.
Right. Get it right. Get it right.
Get it right.
The least,
Show some respect.
The least you could do. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we are doing a bonus episode to go over and review Castle Rock. So this week we are on episode 7, titled "The Queen," which, very chest heavy episode, which I was a fan of. Yeah, Nate, your general thoughts about this episode?
The best part, okay, not the best part. One of the 100 million great parts about this episode is that Carrie, Sissy Paycheck, was the prom queen. So double queen meaning.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That is true.
And she ended up with blood on her at the end. Coincidence also?
I think not.
I think not. It isn't being like a retired cop who had a bridge named after you, just like being prom king. I mean, it's basically uncanny.
I thought he wasn't supposed to be the king. He was supposed to be the white knight.
Yeah, he's the white knight. It's like you didn't even pay attention to the episode at all.
And you know what? I gotta maneuver my metaphors to make this work. All right, give me that.
Yeah. So I mean, before we watched this, Nate watched it ahead of us, and I was getting text messages about how this is one of Nate, your favorite TV episodes of all time.
I've already watched it like 3 times.
Lisa,
so.
What did you think about this episode?
I thought it was really good. I'm one of those people that I need to not hear that kind of thing going into the episode.
Set the bar too high for you?
A little bit. I mean, it was very well done. It was. Sissy Paycheck did a really, really good job.
She earned that paycheck. Yeah. She earned it.
I think she probably earned an Emmy nomination also.
So
I would think so. I think that's
this episode really. I mean, she is the central figure in this episode. We follow her around, and really, I mean, what we kind of talked about in our last episode was, are they going to go J.J. Abrams on this and time jump and all that? And more or less, they did.
Yeah, I mean, it's still. I think I come to the conclusion it's still in her head. Like, it's the dementia. She's not actually time jumping, but
it's all
I
in her
know,
head.
but we had that debate last time on whether she could actually time jump, or not.
Yeah, they kept it a little more grounded in reality because we were concerned it was going to go full fringe on us.
Yeah.
So no, it didn't do that. So what were some of y'all's favorite scenes from this? From this episode, anything that stood out to you in particular?
Well, it's starting to make me question the nature of Skarsgård's powers.
Okay.
Because now we see Sissy Paycheck saw him as her husband. So does that mean that other folks are seeing him differently?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is everyone seeing him as kind of their, worst fear or nemesis, and that's why they go a little bit crazy? I don't know. Or was that in her head too? I'm not sure. And I don't know what his motive was in kind of playing that whole thing out with the record and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. That may have just been her character, because I was thinking about that. I don't know how to tie it back to his interactions with the police guard from, the earlier episodes where they're fist bumping. I mean, for sure, nemesis, I can't imagine
That's
you're
true.
like, hey, I'm going to get you out of here. Fist bump.
Did he just do that to her so that she'd be terrified enough to shoot the gun at whatever she saw, I guess? He was setting her up for that.
I thought it was because she was wearing similar clothes from the guy that she confused it because of that.
But when he comes into the kitchen,
He was wearing her clothes from the old husband's
but
clothes
just
from
the
the basement.
suit. When he comes in the kitchen, he's just in a plain white t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, he's not wearing he's not wearing any of the husband's clothes. I mean, unless he found the husband's.
So I guess the question is he projecting that image of her husband, or is she just seeing that in her mind?
I mean, I think he is because he's. Well,
I think it was in her mind.
It's hard to say. It's.
I don't know.
I thought I think I'm with you, Lisa. I think he was projecting that because he was
Manipulating her.
He was answering questions but it was in present time when the husband's not there. It's one thing when it's in the past or it's in a past scene and she's thinking of it, but I think the scene where they're dancing in the hallway and her grandson's there saying, I don't want you to stay with that man. But he's responding to her as if he knows a lot about her past already and about her husband.
Yeah.
Maybe he learned it from watching the videotapes because there's a whole collection of them, but something tells me I think he was projecting that form.
I guess we'll find out more about his motives later.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What about you, Nate? What scene stuck out to you on this one?
Well, I mean, the ending is spectacular, but I won't get there quite yet. For all those listeners who was wondering, can Bill Skarsgård up the extremely high creepiness bar? The answer continues to be yes. He is like the Russian high jumper who's like shooting all of the steroids. He just like keeps breaking the record.
Is he going to set the record for Emmy nomination with least amount of words said in a role?
Well, but that's the thing. In this episode, he talks, and it's like, that got worse.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You think like him just glaring at you is the worst? Like, nope. The talking actually.
Because it's just that
made it
quiet,
worse.
calm.
So, the creepiness level, crazy in this one.
Yeah, him. That one scene where he is staring at her while she's in the backyard and he's up in like the I guess the bathroom or the bedroom. Yeah.
The
just
house.
staring down her is like, oh shit, just run. Just don't even bother going back in. Just leave.
But in her mind, she has
like, run,
to,
sissy.
because her grandson tells her, kill your nemesis, fix the timeline. So she's got that in her head.
Yeah, from the AR game, which,
yeah.
I mean, thank God it's that one and not the Pokemon AR. It should be trying to throw shit at him.
I mean, I'd rather get hit with a ball than get shot personally. It seems like an improvement. But no, this episode is great because all the time she was space terrible pun, but all the times that she was kind of out of it in the I think basically almost every episode until now gets hit where she's like, I needed to get the sheets, but like why was she spaced out before that? It basically hits on it. So it's telling the story from her point of view, from her battle with coping with Alzheimer's, and then how it impacted everybody throughout the story. And you learn a lot about their family's past, which you hadn't had before, confirming my theory from like the first episode where I said like, oh yeah, that dad was the worst. He should have died. I was like, yep.
So
got it.
One confusing time jumpy thing. When she lets the dog out the front door, we saw that scene in like the first episode, I think. I remember seeing a scene where she lets the dog out the front door to go outside. But come to find out that's when the dog died. So now I'm confused and I feel like I need to rewatch the entire series to make sure we're always in the present, because I'm starting to think in some cases we're not. Or maybe that was a flashback scene and they did it that way. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, let the dog out when? Which dog?
The stray.
There was her old dog who was alive, and there was the stray dog. But the stray dog died in the winter, and we haven't seen any winter. So.
But then what dog got hit by the truck?
That was in the winter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that was the one in the suitcase.
So that's what I'm saying. So there was the scene where she lets, I thought it was that dog out the front door. Alan is there in the living room. She lets the stray out the front door, and then the dog goes to and gets hit.
But that takes place in the winter.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we've seen that particular scene before in a previous episode. So now I'm wondering how many scenes in previous episodes were not in the present.
Yeah, I think now do you go back and rewatch these episodes and with with knowing that they're not, at least the scenes with her, they're not always necessarily in the present.
I think you're overthinking this. I think it's all been in the present until this episode, and it just ties back the past to what's happening.
I think I'm getting Abramsed. Yeah.
I think maybe there's been some sort of trauma in the past with these TV shows.
JJ, man.
It sounds like
he's just.
Yeah, I don't know that I remember the dog in the first episode. I think if there is a dog,
I'm gonna look it up. That's gonna bug me.
Then you're probably right, but I don't remember that. But I don't remember much of what I did yesterday, so I'm not a reliable person.
But no, it was cool to see to go back and fill in all the gaps with her.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't like the dog scenes. I'm surprised Nate's not rubbing that in my face already.
Multiple dogs died during this episode.
But at least we have an answer now, because we talked earlier about why is there a dead dog in a suitcase in her backyard decomposing, and I think we kind of thought it was maybe a Cujo illusion. Now we know that dog is a stray, and it's because she has guilt over what happened to their original dog that was clearly poisoned by her husband, which, not great. What do you think then, with all that in context, has something changed for y'all in terms of her interaction with that dog on the bridge in 2 episodes ago?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it was clearly dog-related trauma. My assumption is when she jumped off the bridge that seeing that dog and hearing it bark made her go into one of the kind of episodes she had throughout this episode where she would go back. I'm assuming it triggered something there, but I don't know why you jump off the bridge, though. I still don't get that part. Her
figurine in the model is on the bridge. So I always assume that Skarsgård put her little figurine on the bridge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You thought the Skarsgård maneuvered her. I don't know. Maybe, it could also just be, her guilt around the dog. I don't know if she saw that dog and, because part of, he says something, Alan says, burying one dog, or you're trying to bury one dog to,
make up for the other. Yeah.
And I wonder if she saw that dog and it looked like the old ones, and
like Puck.
Maybe she just got, maybe it was still, her guilt.
Yeah, but she clearly loves Alan. So I don't think she's actually trying to kill herself. I think it was more of a confusion thing, because the main through line throughout this story is that her and Alan, the sort of devotion that she had and he had for her lasted multiple decades. I don't know if she's trying to kill herself.
I don't know if it could be a little bit of column A and column B is my point. I don't know that she's, at no point can you say she's acting in her full capacity, right? It could very well be that she is confused, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like I'm more confused now about that scene, given what we now know about her than I think previously.
Yeah, maybe it was like, because the dog got poisoned and then the husband took it out to the woods and she's like, I saw vultures. Maybe I should have gone and looked at it. Maybe the bridge was her going to look at it, but she just didn't know where she was.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be it. That's the best I can come up with. But yeah, that does remain pretty mysterious. I don't think we're ever going to get answers to a lot of these things.
Not.
So.
But it is, yeah, this episode is definitely very trippy. It's very well done. I will say one of the coolest things about this episode is the interplay between all the different set pieces. They're so very well done in that you have very clean breaks when she's in a certain room, to where it looks like just another different part of the set, like a normal TV show. But they did such a good job of when she's leaving the room and showing how that room in her head is connected to where she's going. Like she's in a doctor's office, but as she's leaving the doctor's office, you see the door opening into like her actual house, where it's obviously not connected. I thought it was just a really very, very clean effects, really really solid production value. Really helped drive, the whole narrative. And I really think it really helped make, keep you guessing until you saw a chess piece, whether, is she in this room or is she, is she in the present? Where exactly is she? I thought that was one of the cooler aspects of this episode.
Yeah, definitely. And have you guys seen Mother yet?
No.
Okay, well, the certain parts of the episode, especially when she's like trying to escape and there's all the people there from the funeral, right, from her husband. And she goes back and like tries, is trying to get away from Bill Skarsgård. It was very Mother-esque.
Oh, the claustrophobic scene?
Yeah, so that's like, if you liked that part,
I did not
like
care
Mother,
for it, and I'm just I'm not an Aronofsky fan, so I don't know that that's going to happen, Nate.
But definitely parallels to that, but it was effective. I really loved when Molly was at her door, and she's like, she can read her mind, and she's like, it's the present,
right,
not the past, and she's like, door closed, like I got it, don't worry about it.
I'm taking care of business.
Nope, you don't got it. But that's so crazy that like The Shining, she was in the episode for like 2 seconds. That was it. But it was like, oh no, she knows this is going to go bad. Like this is going to go real bad. And she tried and it did not work. But that was kind of heartbreaking after the fact. You're like, oh no, she could go into her like kind of Alzheimer-y, like affected mind and still see that she was like struggling and like couldn't do anything about it. Like that. Watching it the second time, I was like, "Oh shit, that's got man." I can see why Molly is popping pills. That would be catastrophic to like know that and not be able to do anything.
The part that was weird to me too with this, so Molly was an interesting touch. I don't know. I got a little. It was a little off to me when her husband started talking to her as a figment of her imagination versus. Just replaying for all the episode it'd been a replay of the past, and then all of a sudden her husband's talking to her, but as sort of like a ghost, like basically trying to tell her where the bullets are for the gun, and it's because it's in her subconscious. It makes you then question how much of all the different conversations are just her filling in gaps, or wasn't really actually the true what happened. I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes things a little cloudier that way. I don't know if I care for that part.
I think part of it was her going through her memories to try and remember where the bullets were. Because, I mean, he's like, I would tell you, but I am you. Like, this is all in your head. So I don't know. I agree with you. It made it even more trippy and confusing.
It was just kind of a weird thing to happen when everything else has just been very much strict memories, right? And then it's just like, okay, my dead crazy husband is now my spirit guide to these bullets. It was just kind of, I didn't care. It was kind of a weird touch for it, right?
So I saw it totally differently. So the whole time she's having all these episodes and she's trying to cope with it, but the timing where this happened, where she's frantically trying to find where the bullets are, gets her to like fight back on it. And then that's when he starts talking to her, because she's trying to like clear her mind and focus to stay alive because of how creepy Bill Skarsgård is. And also great stabbing, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow. In between the bullet finding and the ending, nice stab. There's like a straight shank through the. It was a reverse Psycho, if anything. It was pretty great. But no, I saw it as she was trying to focus, and so other times she was just kind of whisked away by these like memories and remembrances, kind of like without any agency. Whereas when she was trying to survive, she tried to use her agency in these to help her, and that's when he started talking. That's how I saw it. So then it makes sense, because she's like, okay, I'm actually gonna go back and try to use these. And then it's like, well, if I know I'm gonna try to use these, then I know I'm going back, and so I know it's just me. Whereas before, she was getting whisked away, kind of unaware.
Maybe. I mean, it's probably right. I just don't know that it. I don't know. I just didn't come across that way for me. It just seemed like, I don't know. It just seemed like it was just sort of a quick way to get her to the bullets from a writing perspective. But,
well, and when the guy was talking, he's like, you don't know where the bullets are?
well,
it's like, yep. Even in my mind, you are even when it's me thinking of you, you're a dick.
Well, yeah. So obviously let's talk to the ending. So she does find the bullets. She had tried to pack them once, but never left. That's sort of kind of the story, is that whenever she was presented with that path of action, of doing something, she never did. So in this case, she does remember where she put the bullets. She goes and gets some, puts them in the gun, and waits for Skarsgård. Unfortunately, the person she shoots is not Skarsgård. It is Alan, who I think, Nate, I believe you called it. We'll have to check the tape for last week's episode, but I believe you called him dying in this episode. That is unfortunate.
And it was very sad. And even though he got shot by her, he's like, yeah, it's fine. I love you. Like, I got you. No worries. It's like, oh my God, that makes it even more catastrophic, where he's just like, you know what? We had a great time. You shot me. I still love you. Peace. Well, it's like, holy shit.
She's going to Texas.
That is a different reaction than I would have anticipated.
Well, I mean, I think when you're with someone, they have mental health issues, I don't want to say you've got to prepare yourself to get shot, but I mean, I think, his love for her was so complete and full, right? Like, she was never going to be able to do any wrong to him. And I think there's probably some understanding that, yeah, even if she did do something, it's not that she's doing it on purpose. I don't think there's never like a, what the hell? Right. It's just.
So 2 things that we didn't talk about. One, at the end of last episode, Alan's looking for her and the house is like destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So did that happen while Sissy Paycheck was running around in her memories, or did Skarsgård do that on purpose? To make it look like a huge fight had happened. I don't know.
It is probably struggling from her running around, maybe trying to find the bullets. I would think. I don't think that Skarsgård.
Yeah, I think she was kind of looting a lot of areas, not necessarily right there, but in other places she was like just frantically looking for stuff. I'm wondering if, that was part of that. She dropped her pills
maybe
everywhere.
looking for the bullet. She was pulling stuff out.
Yeah, I think he knew he knew effectively what she was looking for, and that's why he went outside and waited for Alan.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he set her up to kill Alan. I think that was his end game.
Potentially.
Because Alan's walking in the house and he basically tells Alan, why did you leave me in that trunk? I think he wants him dead. The other question I have for you guys is, young Henry says he doesn't hear the schisma, that he says he does hear the schisma. Now as an adult, he does hear the schisma. So I was a little confused there. Was he really lying to his dad? Did he really hear it?
He was lying to his dad. I just kidding.
But then now he hears it or not? Or does he just have tinnitus?
No,
I guess we'll find out when he gets out of the echo chamber that he's like trapped in.
Yeah.
I thought he heard it.
I thought he lied. I thought the whole point of him lying was because he was trying to protect his mom. And so when he was pressed for it, he just said, "No, I heard it," because he was trying to protect her. She even said it. She's like, "It's not your job to protect me. It's my job to protect you."
Yeah, but he forgot things, and he had the tinnitus, and it only acted up when he came back. He didn't have it when he was in Texas or any time in between when he was that kid to now. So
I don't think he heard it at this point in the memories. I think this is the tinnitus and all that's going to flare up when the incident happens, right? When they go off and he's missing for days and the dad's, wrecked basically, right? I think he's going to develop and he's going to hear it as a child. I just don't think it's at this point in time. I think at this particular time that we see, he's lying.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And now one last thing, and we may have talked about this before, I don't remember. Is the reason that all the bad stuff happened in Castle Rock because of Skarsgård?
Well, that's what
they say. It's cursed.
Well, that's what
someone said that, right?
The warden said.
Okay.
It's because of Skarsgård. So I doubt it, but
I'm just curious.
I don't think it's necessarily that simple of an explanation, but who knows?
Cool. How many episodes left? 3?
3, yeah. I would say, like, what's the reason that everything's messed up? You just say, like, Maine. you just leave it.
I've heard Maine is a very lovely place.
You haven't heard that from a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
He lives in Maine.
All 50 billion of them.
Yeah.
And apparently he thinks it's a horrible place.
Yeah, it's just like it's the end of Chinatown. It's Chinatown. Like, that's it. Like, that's the only explanation. It's Maine.
I haven't read all 10,000 of his stories. Maybe there's one in there where he's like, hey, it's spring in Maine and things are going okay. And that's the story.
What if the reason, like,
but I don't think that exists from Stephen King.
Or what if the reason is, like, there's a river that like the St. Lawrence River, like, on the Canada side, there's something messed up, but it just goes into the water or something.
And the water feeds into this town.
Exactly.
You're gonna blame the Canadians
the last
now?
Stephen King book.
Nate is just primed to get the brunt of every tourism board across. I was going to say America, but now it's North America.
Yeah. I mean, we went after Europe, or England specifically, one episode. So yeah, we're all over the place.
It's the world.
This is
really
close
Nate
for me.
This is really
Canada
Nate versus
Maine.
the world.
Not even
Nate
close.
versus the world, and Maine. Specifically, Idaho and Maine will draw Nate's more ire.
Idaho is the worst. Maine, I don't have as much of an opinion about Maine. Idaho is by far number 50 state-wise.
Like I said, I just think if you live in Maine and you think that Stephen King loves your state, I got to tell you, the overwhelming evidence as a story is no, he doesn't. These stories do not take place in Texas or anything else. They come back from Texas and it gets worse. That's what I took from.
Think about it this way. Like, a lot of authors say, like, oh, if you want to write something good, like, write what you know. Like, what happened to Stephen King in Maine? Like, what happened there?
I mean, Stephen King has been harassed by a dog one too many times. Doesn't like clowns.
Not a hotel fan.
No. Must have had to stay one really long winter, at a motel. Yeah, exactly.
If you're trying to sleep with Stephen King, he won't let you use handcuffs. Like, it's just none of it's happening.
He is very concerned about his fans and being, sledgehammered to death.
Exactly.
I'm sure his wife was like, really? You had to put that in a novel?
Oh, goodness. Any predictions? All right. So this episode was entirely really focused on Sissy's paycheck. So any predictions for what we're going to see in the next episode?
Well, hold on. You can't dismiss the end of the episode. You skip past the end.
We talked about the end. I said that, Alan.
No, the end is after she shoots Alan. She spends the night with his corpse, then takes a nice shower, gets her hair done. She does her hair all nicely. And then she has a Alzheimer's related flashback to when Alan came back into town. That is one of the most poignant. And I basically was massively tearing up. I'm like, I'm not going to cry, man. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do it. The acting was from Scott Glenn Allen was ridiculous. At one point, he does a breathe in where he's almost crying, midway through, saying hey, I just wanted to know if you need any help. I heard someone heard a gunshot. I'm just kidding. I really like you. Is that cool? And she's like,
wow, worst pickup line ever.
And she's like, never leave. Don't leave. Ever. And it was background. You see the chess piece. You got On the Nature of Daylight from Max Richter playing, which is the same song from the end of The Arrival, which was also a spectacular ending. Oh my gosh. It was perfect. It was so good.
With the Queen still standing and the White Knight laying down.
Exactly. It was so.
Now here's the question for you, Nate. The gunshot that he heard, was it the gunshot that killed him?
No, because this is the past. It's a memory, so there's no interaction.
Is it though? Because there was a chess piece there.
Mm-hmm. 2 chess pieces. It's like
dun,
the spinning.
Dun,
it's like the spinning top in Inception.
No, but the chess piece happens throughout the whole episode when she's in the past. Fine. You guys are overthinking this, man. You guys are really overthinking this. She's back in her mind. She's back in her mind. He's dead.
We'll let our listeners. So if you have a theory on what if this is a big time loop or not. Let us know at TX Pod Massacre. You can also hit us up on the show page or on our website. Let us know what you think. So, Lisa, you have any predictions for next? So who is the next to die? I think we will settle all of our Kraken shots at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll do a recap. We'll do a season recap episode where the Kraken shots probably get thoroughly dispersed.
Oh, that is going to be a hard episode to get through.
I don't think anyone dies next episode.
You think it's all chill?
It's all good in the hood. Yeah.
I agree with that assessment. I my assumption is we're going to find out about Henry, what happened with him while he's in the echo chamber. I think we'll learn a little bit more about the folks in the RV. Be interested to see what happens to the grandson. I guess he's just off, going to play. Or he just went over to the mall, So
he doesn't know what's happening. He's playing on his phone. Like you could have like just done like a camera, like a picture in picture, and it's just him on his phone the whole time, like during all this Sissy Spacek stuff. He would not have cared. I think he's fine. I don't know if it's this episode, but it might be the next episode. I guarantee you, Molly is dying for Henry. It is happening.
I did like
put it in the
how
bank.
she was like, "I know you killed my husband. You did the right thing."
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We all good.
I think that she's that torch is still lit. It's been lit for decades. It's gonna be an in the line of fire or something kind of situation. She's gonna dive in front of the Bill Skarsgård like death stare or something to save Henry. I can't imagine it not happening, because in the episode she's like, something bad happened. He's in a terrible place. Oh crap! You're dealing with your shit. Okay. So I think the next episode is going to be her trying to find him. Something's going to happen, and then she's got to sacrifice herself. That's my next bold prediction.
I think the next death will be Jackie Torrance. I think
she's barely been in the season, man. She's been underused.
She's going to come and die pretty much. I'm trying to think of who Skarsgård's going to target next, right? Because he's going after everyone that. If he's going after everyone that, left him in that car, he's kind of knocked out everyone. I don't know who else is really left. I mean, he's got to set his sights on Harry at some point, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to kind of wreak some havoc beforehand.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they really need to start tightening this. So the start of the tightening was good here. So you flesh out backstory that influences actions that happen in the present. That's great. They really got to start bringing things together. No more loose threads, none of that, because you only got 3 episodes left. So they really need. Hopefully, that was the start of like the focusing, and then it all comes together nicely. Because if it doesn't, that would kind of suck. We got to start seeing like what's Bill Skarsgård doing. Like, does he talk even more the next episode? God, that would be even worse. God, I hope he just goes back to glaring.
The season's going to end with him giggling in a very weird, like off-putting way.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I don't even know what he was doing. He's like, let's dance. Like, also, I'm forcing you to take pills. Also, what? Like, I don't get why he was being. The
season's gonna end with him putting on clown makeup, and that's.
Oh my god, that would be.
This whole season will just be at the very end. The last frame will just be it. Chapter 2 coming.
That's basically what
it's all been a commercial for.
That's what the Purge movie did for the Purge TV show. So this would be a flip in between. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be down. Anything else you want to talk about with this episode?
No, all right. I think we covered it. One of the best episodes of TV. Please watch it.
Well, all right, well, cool. Well, thank you very much for listening. And Nate, where can they find us?
Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter at TX Pod Massacre. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com. Email us at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all the other ones.
That's right. If you are enjoying these bonus episodes, do let us know on all those aforementioned areas. We're curious. We have a couple new shows coming up pretty soon with both The Purge and American Horror Story. We probably, it'd be a lot of bonus episodes to record all at once. There's a lot of overlap between The Purge and American Horror Story. So if there's one you prefer, or if you'd like to see us do those, let us know. We're certainly live tweet one, if not both of them. But let us know if which one you really want to hear us review in an episode format.
How crazy would it be if Bill Skarsgård was in all three of those shows? Like what? Like he's like, I'm just gonna lock down this monopoly for the rest of my life.
I kind of just hope he just shows up on, like, he's just not even like invited. He just shows up.
Yeah, like, is that lanky guy in the background staring? Yeah, that's Bill Skarsgård. Like one scene, that's it, and then you just never see him again.
I hope Bill Skarsgård spends his October and Halloween just like randomly photobombing people, like just going in the park.
I just hope
just, like,
that he just goes
background.
out and stands in people's front yards.
Yeah. I want him to Slender Man the fuck out of everything, man. I mean, it would be great. You've got all this creepy,
creepiness. Like, he's got all the creepy, all of it.
Yeah, it's all stored up, man. You gotta let it out. Just don't just hog it in just for these one-off series runs. I wonder if he's gonna be back on other Castle Rocks. I don't know if I'd want to see him.
You're saying it'd be like a Dark Shadows American Horror Story kind of thing, where like different stories but same actors.
Yeah, I don't really know if I want to see that in this.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if this turns out to be awesome, they can do whatever they want.
Fair. I mean, until we see where the final end game is, I'll I've stuck with American Horror Story this long, so. Anyway, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a show. Good night.